Good morning, my friends. I wanted to talk about loneliness today because I was reading Braving the Wilderness by Brene Brown, and I love how she put it because often when we think of loneliness, we think we need to connect with people more. And she says that loneliness is not just a lack of connection, but it's a lack of being fully known. And when I heard that, I was like, that makes sense, because how often are we in a group of people and still feel loneliness? It can actually happen quite a lot. I've heard it a lot from friends. I've felt it myself. So this kind of made sense to me. And then I started spinning my thoughts around that, which I'll share with you. And I'm also reading this book right now called Transcend, and by Scott Barry Kaufman. It's a really great book. And he talks about loneliness as well. And I'll just give you this, a couple stats here. He says, loneliness is proving a serious threat to public health. He says, social isolation has an impact on health comparable to the effects of high blood pressure, lack of exercise, obesity, or smoking. And then he says, it is literally killing us. Loneliness, social isolation, or living alone increases the risk of death by 26%, 29%, and 32% respectively. Those are really high numbers. And we won't talk about the elderly here because that's a whole other big rant I could go on, and how, they end up being quite alone in the end of their days, and which increases the risk of dying prematurely. What my thoughts are, and social media, he does cover it a little bit here about this idea of social media we use as a way of connection, but still not feeling fully known, right? You think you know what's going on in someone's life, you think you're updated, but really it's not the same as having a face-to-face conversation and really being with someone. But as I was processing kind of Brene Brown's work and Scott Barry Kaufman's work, I was thinking, how many people actually fully know themselves? And so, he mentions here, he says, approximately 40% of adults say they're lonely, and 42.6 million adults over the age of 45 report chronic loneliness. And I'm thinking that this idea of being fully known with yourself can maybe help with this sense of isolation and loneliness. I think I said it in my yoga class the other day, like wherever you go, there you are. So the more you can know yourself and be able to present yourself fully and authentically, maybe you'll feel more a sense of belonging instead of just a sense of fitting in, or trying to fit in, or trying to mold yourself to the group. And we spend a lot of time in our head thinking about things that we have to do and places we have to go, especially if you are managing a family schedule or you have a very busy work life. And we miss that time of self-connection and self-reflection to be able to know yourself and be aware of your patterns and your behaviors, and what you like, what you don't like, what triggers you, how to get over those triggers. Like, that takes time. And so this is not a how-to, it's just a bit of thoughts around this idea of, can you take some time to become more fully known? I know that in yoga, we use the yoga practice to kind of uncover things in your life and how you face challenges and obstacles that we hopefully take off of our yoga mat into our everyday life. So that's one way of maybe getting to know yourself more. But maybe it's just taking 5-10 minutes at the end of your day before going to bed to reflect on, hey, what happened today? And were there any moments where I felt joy? Were there any moments where I felt challenged? And how did I respond to those moments? And how could I do it differently? And just start to uncover some of these things and pull on some threads so that you could fully know yourself and present yourself to the world more authentically, and maybe help combat some of this chronic loneliness. That's it for today. Love you guys.